Welcome to Time Out with Twinpossible.
Hi, and welcome to Time Out with Twinpossible. Today we're going to discuss something that strikes fear in the minds of every new parent, but is something very real that needs to be thought about and discussed prior to your baby's birth even, to try to do everything to eliminate the risks of the word SIDS, also known as sudden infant death syndrome. It's a rare occurrence, but when it does happen, it's devastating to any family. The loss of a child is just the most heart-wrenching thing in the world, and a SIDS death is unfathomable. So a lot of parents, 99.99999% of parents, know about SIDS and fear it with their newborn. Here are some facts on SIDS. Fact 1, that most cases of SIDS, though they say it's the unexplained death of a child in the first year of life, most of those demises happen between the months of 2 months old and 4 months old. So I was particularly petrified during those 2 months. I don't know why that is. There's really no data showing why, but that is just a fact. And by 6 months old, the chance of it happening thereafter is only 10%. So 90% of all SIDS cases happen within the first 6 months of life. So now that my girls are 6 months, I feel a little more safe talking about it now than I would have. I couldn't discuss it at all. And I wrote a very informative blog post, so you can check out my blog on twinpossible.com to read more. But it's not something that any of us want to think about, talk about, hear about, know about. But it's a very real thing, as rare as it may be, and it's something that, you need to be aware of. I was afraid, that I wouldn't have healthy babies, that something would happen during the pregnancy, and then after the pregnancy, that was the big fear. And I'm continuously watching them, their little chests rise and fall. And even though I still do that, those first months were particularly nerve-wracking. And I'm sure many of you new parents out there, whether it be a singleton baby or multiples, know exactly what I'm talking about. Other facts. African American babies are twice as likely, for some reason, to die of SIDS. I believe the statistics are back in 91. I remember back in 95, they were advising side sleeping, babies to sleep on their sides. Now they say, I don't know what year that changed, they said back sleeping. But back in 91 and 92, I believe the cases of SIDS were over 5,000 per year, which is not a huge number when you think about all the babies being born every day in the world, but it still has to affect those 5,000 families. So it decreased in the later 1990s to like 3,000. And I believe it's in the area of like 2,000 to 2,500 now, since back sleeping has been implemented and people are more aware of SIDS and the little things that you can do to prevent it. If you were, God forbid, ever affected by this or know anyone who is, tell them to not feel guilty and never feel guilty, because there really is no way to catch SIDS. You can't, there's no symptoms, there's no seeing it coming. It's something that happens that you can't stop, you can't cure. So the guilt factor, I'm sure, just like any mother feels guilty when they lose a child in any way, be it an accident 500 miles away. A mother is prone to feeling guilty regardless, but there really is nothing you can do. You can take certain precautions, and I'll tell you those precautions, but if it's going to happen, they say that it may even be something in the brain of the child before they're even born, while they're in utero. So there's really nothing you can do about that, but the little things that they say may help reduce the risks. Let's do them, right? but never feel guilt over it, and never let anybody who, if you know someone affected by a SIDS death, feel any guilt or shame over it. There's nothing they could do, and it can't be stopped and cured, and there are no symptoms. It's just something that occurs, sadly and unfortunately, and it's one of God's curses in life that are unfair and that we never really understand in this life. Excuse me. Things that you can do: buy a firm mattress. Replace your mattress. If you have a 4-year-old child at home and you still have their mattress, I know that my husband and I didn't think twice about it at first, keeping our daughters. We had 2 mattresses for her because we had a crib on both floors of our home for naps and for sleeping, and you know, we had paid over $200 each for them, and the upstairs one didn't get a ton of use, and he said, you know, we paid over $400, why don't we keep them? You know, they're in great shape, they're like new. Well, new research suggests that there may be toxins and fumes that come out of older mattresses. So if a mattress is, I would say, older than maybe 18 months, they might say 2 years, I don't know, I play it safe. If you had a child within a year, okay. But I would say tops 18 months, I would just chuck it and be safe. I mean, you can get a mattress for $100. You can get a mattress probably even a little cheaper than that. I got these organic mattresses. They were like $149 on sale. $300 to give me peace of mind. It's well worth the cost, because if God forbid something did happen and I thought it had anything to do with the mattress, I'd be jumping off a building. So, you know, just in the case that there is a connection, which there could be, they're finding out new things and doing more research all the time on this. If there are fumes that are released, and buying a new mattress that's sealed in plastic from the company is what will help your child avoid this, or, you know, maybe just help aid in preventing it in some small little fraction of a quarter of a millisecond of a way, then to me it's worth the expense. A lot of people do hand down, if they had a child 2 years ago, they hand down the crib mattress, even if they had a child 5 years ago, or they'll take their sister-in-law's crib mattress from her child, or even get one at a consignment shop. I'm just saying these aren't the smartest things to do, given the new research that we have now. Also, another factor, and I know it's a big thing with attachment parenting, which is awesome, co-sleeping. Personally, I do not trust myself. I'm all over the place when I sleep. God forbid something happened again. I'm off the building. Alright? I couldn't live with myself. So, I bought a co-sleeper, the Arm's Reach co-sleeper. Awesome invention, attaches to the bed. It's close, no harm. You know, there's no way you're going to roll on top of your baby or babies. And that was the perfect resolution, to be near them, but not have them in the bed with us. You know, there is an increased risk of suffocation, deaths from having your child, your newborn, on your bed with you. You know, not only are our beds softer, we got pillows around, there could be a blanket around, and also there's the risk of rolling over onto your child. So, you know, for those that it works with, I don't judge, great, you know, do what you want. I'm just stating the facts that there is a slightly increased risk there. Also, you want to make sure that you have your firm mattress, your new mattress, and that your crib is rid of all blankets, fluffy comforters, and pillows and stuffed toys before you lay your child down for a nap or for bedtime. You don't want any of that stuff in their path, okay, because that can lead to suffocation, death, and SIDS, which I believe is from suffocation, and so you want to avoid that at all costs, of course. Also, the most important thing that they say is back sleeping, back sleeping, back sleeping. You know, years ago my mother-in-law said they said to put them on their stomach. Then I know with my son, my first son, it was all sides. We had the positioners to keep him on his side, and then now they're saying the back. So you figure what's right, what's wrong. I think over the years, research has gotten a lot better, and the decreasing number of cases of SIDS shows me that this is probably the best position. And some mothers still say, well, they love being on their bellies. Me personally, wouldn't chance it when they're young. When they're 1 to 4 months of age, don't, when you have the control in your hands, you might as well use the knowledge, make it your power, and just give your child the best chance of avoiding this, and yourself the worry, by placing them down on their backs for all naps and nighttime sleeping. But when they're a little older, like 4.5 months, 5 months, they're going to start rolling. And that's when I started panicking, because I saw the rolling, and I'm like, I couldn't sleep at night. I'm like sitting there peeled, my eyes peeled to them, because, oh my God, what if they roll and, something happens, because they're not supposed to be on their stomach. So I just kept flipping. But eventually, babies assume the position they want, and when they're able to roll, you really run out of some power. But usually by 4.5, 5.5 months, when they're rolling like this, they have enough neck and head control to move their head to the side and not suffocate themselves into the mattress. And also, even before they're able to flip over the other direction, which is when you'll feel much more at peace, they have more strength. At 3 months old, if you place a child down, they really aren't pushing up very well, and they could possibly smother themselves, especially even younger than that. So for those first months, avoid that. And, if your child is going to roll at night, don't be frantic, because at the point, especially when they're rolling in both directions, like mine were by 5 months, they're going to be able to move themselves out of harm's way and keep themselves okay. But I'm not going to lie and say there are times I don't check the chest still, because we're mothers, we care, we love our children, and we don't want anything bad to happen to them. But also, let me see, another fact. Let's see. Boys are affected for some reason more than girls. They may breathe a little bit faster, so any fumes that may be in the home or in the mattresses, this is all just being studied now, may get into their lungs and fill them up faster, and that could be the cause, possibly the cause, of more males dying of SIDS-related deaths than females. It's about 40% female, 60% male. Also, let's remember that more females survive childbirth and are stronger and survive better prematurely, have better health outcomes from the very start. So that may be a factor as well, just the overall strength of the female species. But everything is up in the air on that. You just want to make sure you take caution, with your child, especially during those first months of life. And remember, after 6 months, you can breathe a little bit of a relief, but still, till that year mark, there is a slight chance, there is a 10%, so you always got to still be careful with your child. But like I said, 90% are in that first 6 months, so try to breathe a relief when you get there, as did I, and just know that there are only a couple thousand cases a year at this point, 2,000, 2,500 I believe. So it is a rare phenomenon, but like I said, there does have to be those unfortunate families that it does affect, but chances are more in your favor of a good outcome and a healthy, happy life for your child than the other. And also with twins, premature birth, low birth weight, which also affects singletons, but more so with twins, can also factor in with the SIDS risk and increase it. So you want to be extra careful watching your little ones, especially if they were born severely premature and at a very low birth weight. Maybe get an angel care monitor for them to make sure that they stay moving and stuff, if that brings you peace of mind. Whatever you need to do as a parent, do it, and just know that it is rare and something that you probably never will have to deal with, but are best to be educated on. And read my blog for more on the subject. And thank you for taking time out with Twinpossible. Good night.